Okay, welcome back to the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. You might notice my party is a little different this time. I went and sold a whole lot of my excess weapons and spent it all on more Seepeth. So this is what my Seepeth is looking like right now. I'll be needing a lot of that time later on. Not so much now because we already have a full set of Action 4s. So I wanted to go ahead and show just upgrading the remaining slots on Estelle and Joshua. Because I feel like I have enough to be able to afford that now. Actually, it's going to be pretty expensive to fully upgrade Joshua, and, well, you know, we've got plenty of time to upgrade his slots. I might want to save some stuff for a bit later, because obviously Chloe's going to be back, and she's going to need a lot of level 3 slots when she is. But I've also swapped Agate back into the party. I've upgraded a few of Agate and Tita's slots, and I've also changed around augments a bit. Because Agate is in the party, I have now switched Estelle to more of a caster setup. She now has a 0 field generator, but also more ATS boosting stuff. Joshua's pretty similar to how he used to be. Agate just has, well, pretty much whatever I can put on him, as well as just general good physical quartz. None of those arts matter because he has no ZFG. And Tita... Huh, why aren't the lions animating for those two? That's a little weird. Oh, of course the lions aren't animating. They don't have ZFGs. That's actually really, really cool. I didn't notice that before. So the animating lines on the augments are actually a thing exclusive to the Steam version. I don't think that was true of the original PSP game, but that is actually really cool. The fact that, like, you can see the lines powered because the augment is actually working. But anyway, that's the setup that I've gone with right now. So our next destination is Zeiss, and really I feel like I can just cut straight to the entrance to the city. Yeah, because just outside, there's one, well actually several, of these Ouroboros cougar monsters. Okay, so these things can inflict seal and instant death, so that's obviously not good. You're pretty useless if you get sealed, but also, you know, if you get instant death, you really can't do anything at all. I'll just give you coverage for both of them. You already have protection against both, and I'd kind of like to, I mean, they can reach pretty far back, so I don't think this is exactly going to help, but I can try. Let's just hope this does not go horribly for Estelle. Let's do this. Okay, I spent ages bumbling and fumbling around in this fight, and then I realized something. Though I might not even get a chance to try it out. So I used a few tomato sandwiches on Tita because I need her CP for something. So these things are pretty annoying. There's a lot of them and they hit pretty hard. Their instant death attack is honestly the one you want to see. Windblade is the real problem. It hits in a line, which is why I've spread out a little bit, and it does a lot of damage. They are not immune to instant death though, and that's the thing. There's actually a lot of status ailments they're not immune to, and... oh, please don't. Oh well, she got sealed, but at least she's not dead yet. I need to cure her status now. Do I have a, yeah, I do have a Paradise Cooler. Oh, I hope that's enough. Basically, I just need to get Tita to survive until she gets a turn. And then I'm probably set. Also, those two decided to start kissing each other and not do anything productive, which is fine by me. Earth Wall is insanely helpful in this fight, as is this. So, these things are not immune to blind. The damage may have been pathetic there, but blinding them is going to really, really help. And if they're not immune to blind, chances are they're not immune to a lot of things from attack food. So I'm going to try and use some of those nap time cookies and knockout meatballs. Or get lucky and get 2 death blows, that's pretty good. The death quartz is also helpful here, but if you come through Zeiss in the other direction, you won't have that by now. So yeah, it definitely depends on, also depending on what direction you have come through, you might have already fought these things before. But we'll get to that later. Am I seriously gonna get lucky enough with Death Scream this attempt that I don't even need to try any of the other stuff? Okay, I may as well try, a nap time cookie to see if it works. No damage, but yep, sleep does work on them. And just for good measure, let's blind you as well. Yeah, they may be blinded, but they're still pretty accurate. Oh, you know what? These things have given me so much trouble, I'm just gonna satellite beam them. They deserve it. There is no kill like overkill, as they say, and we have to watch the full animation because it's amazing. It seems like this is one of the absolute strongest S-crafts in the whole game, which makes sense, and it does give Teeter a bit of a niche, but... yeah, they're still alive, but they are blind. Oh, okay. Well, I guess Brave Sir Cougar ran away. And Seals. Well, you are clearly, stupid rather than, brave. Goodbye. Or not. Still not running. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna pretend that huge fiasco that was me repeatedly failing at that never happened. Not really, you'll probably see them on the fail channel. But yeah, that monster was actually the least of my worries at this point. There are, well, including the dimension bugs at the top of the tower, but we've already dealt with those a lot. There are 3 monsters here that we need to defeat, all before entering the Zeiss Bracer Guild. Now, I was just coming in here to heal, but while we're here, we may as well check out Hammy Aww. Hammy Mate isn't Hammy anymore! Once again, we must solve the crisis so that Hammy Maid can ham once more. And, hi there, Wong. I mean, at least the good news is this thing broke down in the middle of town, not in monster territory. So, always look on the bright side. I mean, you could attach ropes to the front and try and tow this thing with human power. Again, at least it did not break down in monster territory. But I mean, I suppose, yeah, if other vehicles need to get through here, not that, you know, many vehicles will be working unless they're petroleum powered. Yeah, you might have to hire some muscle there. So, I should also mention, now that we're back in Zeiss, you can buy tomato trio sandwiches at the bar here. So if you have mirror to spare, definitely stock up on these. They're very, very effective going forward. Because, yeah, right now in town... Okay, apart from one more thing, if we go to the Bell Station... I think it's the Bell Station, actually. So, yeah, they mentioned that they are selling goggles. Yeah, night goggles. We currently have 2 pairs of those. I'm gonna get 1 more. You might think, why do I need more than 1? Well, there is actually a good reason for that, which we'll get to a little bit later, but for now... Well, those things certainly divided a lot.
That's that. Let's move out.
Okay, look at all that time, space, and Mirage Seepeth. And we get the power orb from that. Also, cool thing is, the pillars that Volta and Zin broke in their duel are still broken. Nice attention to detail there. So the power orb, well, it's kind of obvious what that does. Yeah, this thing is not so bad. Plus 5 speed and plus 50 strength. Oh, wow, looks like the gates to Wolf Fort is stuck open too. I still find Wolf Fort to be one of the least memorable locations in this whole series, so I'm glad that at least something's going on here. So I've done a little bit of switching up my orbment here, because, yep, look what we have here for our next monster in this region. In tactics, you want to make sure that you set everyone to single target S-crafts. So beat down 2, Unfortunately, Tita is at a bit of a disadvantage because whatever she has, it's an AoE attack, so I'm just going to not have her use S-Crafts at all. She's going to be my dedicated Earthwall user, and for that, she's got EP Cut 3 to make that a bit cheaper. Agat's going to be going for physical attacks. I've set up Estelle so that she has La Fort, which I'll probably need. And Joshua is going to go for buffs and debuffs. I actually wouldn't mind having Orbital down on someone. And in terms of tactics, we're bunched up together. This doesn't really feel the same without that ominous music, but yep, it's Revenge of the Abyss Worm. These ones are a bit stronger than the ones we saw in Chapter 2, and there's 8 of them now. But, as always, resist the temptation to attack multiple worms at once. Unless it's with a non-damaging debuff. Just focus on single target damage. Because it's been a long time, so I guess I can talk about the gimmick here again. These things will use Lightning Fall to do a small amount of damage, but if they're damaged, they'll use Earthshaker, which hits pretty hard against everyone. You do not want to have to deal with 8 Earthshakers at once. So only make sure that you're facing down one Abyss Worm at a time, and make sure somebody has some form of area healing. In this case, Tita has Vital Cannon, I guess. Can she even get, I don't know. Like, as long as you keep healing, it shouldn't be that imperative to have Earth Wall set up. But just resist the temptation to use big AoE attacks here. Would you please stop going for Tita? Yeah, even though they're all bunching up like this, resist that temptation at all costs. It will end very, very, very badly for you. Target them one at a time. And they are slightly weak to wind, although I'd probably prefer to have Clock Up EX on more of my party. So just going to go ahead and set up here. Okay, good, the damage one hasn't got a turn just yet. Okay, can't get a ton of them in Clock Down, but I can at least try. Yeah, right now, we're just setting up buffs and stuff. I might even just skip ahead through all this buffing, because... yeah, there's not really that much to see here. Only one of them is really doing any kind of decent damage. Oh no, please tell me the Earthshake one didn't get the crit turn. It didn't, good. Okay, and La Fort for our physical attacks. Now, I think we can kind of start going to town. I want to just test out something with Joshua. Test out to see whether Airstrike or True Dual Strike will be doing more damage here. So this does 2,000. Yeah, I'm guessing that's going to be doing more, although I could be wrong about that. And as always, keep up your AoE healing. So, really, once you get into a good rhythm, this fight is not that bad at all. In fact, it's kind of boring, so I might as well just speed this up. I don't normally like doing that when I play RPGs, but this is a fight that is just, you know, once you've seen a little bit of it, you've seen the whole thing. Yeah, Airstrike is doing a lot more. Yeah, if you can use the delay attack on the one that's using Earthshaker, all the better. There we go. That took way too long. If you actually know how to do that, like the safe way, it's not really much of a threat. It's just mind-numbingly boring. Oh boy, okay, so that's done. And, yeah, there's still one more thing to do before we can hand in our ZFG. And as you can see here, the escalators aren't working. So we just have to walk up them. Not really that big a deal, but what is kind of a big deal is in here, yeah, Zeiss Central Factory must be taking this pretty hard. This entire area is pretty dependent on orbital power. Yeah, they're reduced to just, oil lamps, basically. And as Estelle's saying, no using the elevator. Thankfully, the doors to the stairs aren't, operated by orbital power, so they're still open. So, oh no, we have to get exercise, whatever will we do? So, why I'm going down here is we need to go into Caldia Tunnel. And Caldia Tunnel, as they've alluded to, is particularly dangerous right now. Yep, Caldia Tunnel is completely pitch dark. I love Estelle's reaction there. So all the lights are off, you need night goggles in order to see here. And this also means that anybody without night goggles equipped is going to be suffering permanent blind status in any battles that occur here. Which basically means no physical attacks except S-crafts. You might also notice that we can't actually see our mini-map anymore, but you can still bring up the actual map. So remember to do that if you ever get confused. Speaking of getting confused, I find it's good to stick to the pathways wherever possible. But we're going to have to diverge off the beaten path eventually. Not quite yet, but soon. You will notice that you can still see enemies on the radar. But I'd recommend walking very slowly here or equipping a cloak quartz. So we're going down into this little corner, because there's something in here for us to fight. Something that I am very excited to get my revenge. Yep! You can see it right there! Guess what's back? This is actually pretty obscure. Yeah, there's no real indication this exists. I think I'm fine on tactics. I've set everyone's S-brakes back to multi-targeting ones. You might notice that I've got Joshua and Agate up to full CP. And Estelle now has Death Scream on her ordnance. Okay, if you time things right, you can get a preemptive strike here, but the Divine Penguin is back, and this time there's two of them. Also, its description actually makes more sense here. I feel like they accidentally used the description for it at this point in the game, in the first encounter with it. But anyway, oh boy, we are going to not make the same mistakes we did last time. We're going to stack up those buffs and debuffs to begin with. Let's go for... yeah, let's clock up EX. I think I'll go for that on Agate right now. And Agate will... let's see. I kind of just want to stay where I am right now. Because I want to make sure that I get a strength buff off. And Tita is also going to... I believe you have clock down. Oh, Earthwall's really good, though. But I want to get clock... yeah, I'll try going for clock down first. And you've got so many very, very useful buffs and debuffs, it's hard to tell which one to get off first. But let's set these up. Our preemptive strike is helping us get all these buffs. How do you like that, Divine Penguins? How do you like being on the receiving end of a preemptive strike for once? Yeah, definitely wants to make sure we get our speed up as much as possible and their speed down as much as possible. Also, Earthwall is useful. Yep, let's start setting that up, just in case they start spamming Swordfish on us, which is a bit of a weird sentence, but it makes sense. And let's get Clock Up EX on you. Okay, they're both going. I've also equipped Confuse Protecting Accessories. The good news is you now have more than one of those, So if they decide to spam, Samba de Penguin, which is a weird attack name, but still, if they decide to spam that, then, you at least have protection on your whole party. Also, but yeah, between ZFGs and wanting to cover Sleep and Confuse, I can't quite cover Seal from Catfish Shock, and there's no way to make yourself immune to Strength down, unfortunately. But at least Agate has the Strength buff, and that's really what matters. That's very tempting. I don't know how much this will do, but we'll see. Okay, Joshua's hit actually did quite a lot. And, oh, hey, I can do it again. Immediately.
Let's do it. Got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm making use of these while I still can, before they start teleporting all over the place and getting out of, a convenient AoE with each other. Okay, Tita is not, speed buffed. I could either do that, or I could just go for some raw damage on them, which is very tempting as well, but I would... Yeah, let's get our buffs off on everyone. I really, really don't want to make the same mistake that I did in the first time I fought these things. Yeah, I was very, very angry that first take, and I'm very sorry you all had to witness that. Okay, please don't go for Tita. Of course you went for Tita! Why wouldn't you go for Tita? And I think, yeah, I don't think I can, yeah, I can't chain 3 with Tita now. So, either I sacrifice Agate's damage to cure that, or I just go for a little bit more damage on... I'm gonna see how much this does. Actually, pretty solid. Okay, who do I sacrifice? Joshua right now actually has more ATS than Estelle because I was forced to drop the Crimson Eye. So, I guess I can have him use, let's just, Death Scream. Yeah, that's quite a lot of damage, and I don't even have Orbital down on them. So, maybe I should actually Orbital down with Joshua. It is kind of a shame that even buffed Agate just can't quite match the damage output that Arts can do, or also Zin can do. Because Zin has a 60% strength buff, and it's again kind of sad that you actually need that to make physical attacks truly viable compared to Arts. Well, there that is. That's English, but at least the guard blocks that, and also the accessories I've got. I should have most of my team immune to Confuse. Yeah, so that's the ailment that I prioritize blocking here. Because obviously everyone getting confused is really bad. Also, this looks really weird with the night vision on. Really, really weird with the night vision on. Oh, that didn't quite go in the crit turn. I was really hoping it would go in the crit turn, but it didn't. Speaking of the crit turn, though, do I take this with somebody who has an AoE attack, or do I take this with Estelle for just raw single target damage? Or I mean, I could do that, but then again, Tita is, yeah, no, I'm gonna do Final Break. And you're getting the full animation, well, mostly because I want to see how weird it looks with the night vision on, but still. These things really deserve it. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of damage. I'm really glad that I took that with the crit. Yeah, like, as mediocre as basic physical attacks might be, physical S-crafts are still very, very strong. Okay, I was actually considering switching up my party and bringing Shera to this fight, but looks like I may not need to, that I want to speak too soon. This fight it can be kind of tricky if you're unprepared, but if you are, it's an excuse to basically just go to town on these things for the pain that they likely gave you back in Chapter 2. Wow, Chapter 2, it feels like such a long time ago. And speaking of pain, one of them is going to be feeling severe pain right now. I think I'll... Oh yeah, you have way more. I think I can afford to wait for the crit turn to use Joshua's S-Craft. I don't think it will do enough to them without the crit turn. Yeah, especially not if that on a 10% strength turn with a buff did that much. Okay. Double Penguin Hyper Beam, but guess what? I don't care. Black Fang time. I mean, there's still a chance this might not do it, and that would be really bad. One of them survived. No, they both survived. Oh, crap. Well, at least I'm guarded against one. And the next one isn't going okay. We have Tita next. Dang it. I can still use, attack food, can't I? 8 HP, are you serious? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that much. I really don't want to get party wiped to this. I probably need to move Tita out of range just for absolute safety, just to make sure that, you know, we don't get party wiped. Because I forgot how much this does on hard mode. It's not as much as I was expecting. Okay, you still don't quite have enough to get that off, but... Okay, I think I actually want to cure Tita's status right here. I'm so close, I just don't want to fail this now. Okay, yeah, and that was a really, really good cooldown thanks to their clock down and our clock up. And, hey, I guess Tita can finish this one, hopefully. Wow, more than enough, nice. Yeah, it looks like these things' arts defense actually isn't that high. Okay, and then, this, I think I can do this. Yep, that was enough.
We're good to go.
So, in addition to the experience for defeating the Divine Penguins, we get the Divine Cross. An accessory that you can only get this way, making it one of the more obscure accessories in the game. Yeah, here it is. The Divine Cross, its only weakness is it doesn't give you immunity to any ailments, but it greatly increases all of your stats. So, if you've got a spare accessory slot on someone, especially if they're using a Grail Locket and you just don't really have anything else to give them, just go ahead and give them that. It's a pretty solid boost. And with all that done, now, finally, it's time to turn in our ZFG to Zeiss. So, I'll see you again next time for finishing up our business in the Zeiss region and moving on to Ruin. See you all then. Let's do this. So here we have, yep, a whole bunch of these things. Blade Cougars. These are red ones, unlike the ones that Volta was using. Has a greedy nature, aims for the vitals. I guess that's a hint that they like to use instant death attacks. Is this even gonna work? A lot of enemies seem to be immune to this, but... Well, it did actually work. And that one ignored Joshua and attacked Tita anyway. Well, at least you're going for Joshua. Oh boy, that's not good. Oh wow, they hit hard. Oh, I thought they were going to be dumb and give it to me there. I don't know how much that Earth Wall is going to help. If I get really unlucky with their lines, they could potentially take that all out with just one hit. And that was unlucky, because they're actually not immune to Death Blow, so getting Death Blow on at least some of them is pretty effective, and I'm going to immediately do that, because otherwise he's going to die. Oh, one of them got muted. Not like that matters. Earth Wall back up. Yeah, this is why having high speed and Earth Wall can be very useful, especially later in the game. But oh yeah, that was bad. Especially if this one goes for Wind Blade. It did. That's colossally bad. Oh boy, these things hit really hard. So, yeah, Blade Cougars. They can hit you in a line with Windblade that does, like, on this difficulty, about 3,000 damage, which is actually quite a lot considering how many of them there are. Still no death blows. That's really, really terrible. Okay, that's fine, because I don't want to delay Joshua's turn massively. I want to try and get at least one more Death Scream in before I go for the S-Craft. Okay, that's 3 of them down. Oh, actually, no, one of them's still alive. We've barely... Okay, 2 of them have barely any health. How about delaying one? Okay, delay is good, and then Joshua's just gonna Black Fang. And if that last one survives, which it did, I think, like, how much... Oh my god. I'm changing my tactics to spread out a little bit for this, because their Windblade is incredibly strong, and it hits in a line. It's honestly not the Death Blade that I'm worried about. Speaking of death, though, these things actually are not immune to death blows, so if I get lucky with Death Scream, I might be able to take a few of them out early, which I kind of want, because Windblade is a pain. Yeah, so look at that. That can hit everyone in a line, and great, it's pushing us closer into a line. Well, that's 2 crit turns, really? And Joshua isn't taking any hits, so he's not going to build up enough CP for an S-Craft. Or is... Well, he is now. Yep, Agate was just barely in, but Windblade takes away 2 of those. And takes away my other 2. Actually, somehow Tina didn't lose her Earth Guard there. Don't Windblade, please. Okay, well, at least only one person got Windbladed, although he did actually go down to it. And, yep, there goes our guard. I started spread out, and still, they pushed me back into range of Windblade.